Alex Becker is the mad scientist of crypto. Whether you love him or hate him, the guy's called more 100x coins than most influencers even pretend to.
Which coins, which products are going to make the next move? And oh boy, I got good news for you.
So today I'm breaking down his top 10 tips to spot the next 100x gem. No fluff, no BS. Let's get right into it. Tip number one is to follow narratives. Becker's really big on the idea that coins don't pump based on actual utility, what they actually do, or that the company is profitable, or any of the things that make a smart investment in the traditional markets. In crypto, it's all about the narrative and the story. For instance, in 2021, everyone was hype about the metaverse, and we all know how that turned out. Is anyone hanging out in the metaverse? No. But the story, the idea of it, that we're gonna have these crypto coins that are transacted in this virtual world, it was so good that everyone piled in, and if you got in early, you were able to make a clean 100x there. Now, in this bull run that we're currently leading up to, Becker's main plays are AI and RWA, which stands for real world assets. He thinks these are going to be huge. He's going into them heavily, and I have to agree with him here. I mean, after we saw what Nvidia did in the stock market, it makes sense that people coming over to crypto are going to look for similar plays in the AI space. Tip number two is early entry only. Becker doesn't chase pumps, and he does put his money where his mouth is. He bets big, and he bets big when things are ugly and they're bloody and they're red and no one is talking about it. And if you go back on his channel over the past couple years, you'll see that he's been investing into AI projects like Desync, like OXO, like PAL, like GPU at rock bottom prices. And while this is a risky strategy because it may take a long time, if ever, for these coins to actually take off, when they do hit, that's how he's getting not just 5 to 10x, but 50 to 100x. So if you're able to tolerate some risk and you really believe in a narrative or a project, you have to go in before it's all over the news. Once everyone's talking about it on Twitter or it's showing up all over the news, the likelihood of getting big multiples on that coin are pretty much non-existent. But the good news is, if you're watching this video now, you are so far ahead, because most of the world, if they've even heard of crypto, they only know Bitcoin, maybe Ethereum. So if you're looking at mid caps, you're looking at AI, you're looking at gaming projects, all that stuff, you're so far ahead. But it's important to not just watch, but really do your research and place your bets during this time. Tip number three is that tokenomics matter. And this is so important because one of the big things that's messed up a lot of projects is huge unlocks. And basically what that means is that a project can hold a percentage of the supply to give it away to early investors, to the founders, to the devs, even to KOLs, which is influencers like Becker himself. So sometimes you see a project and you see that it's going up, but if you know that there's a huge unlock, meaning that they're about to give a bunch of the coins out to the early investors and the founders, and those people are likely to sell, then you know a dip is incoming. And this is the reason that it's difficult to come into this game, especially at mid and low caps, without doing some research, and really vesting schedules and token unlocks gives you a big leg up. Tip number four is the team and the backers. Has the team done this before? Do they have VCs and investors that are reputable investing into the project? Now, if they do, this is generally a good sign if you got in before them. If you're coming after them, just know that they're gonna get their multiple. They might be going for a 3x, a 5x, a 10x, and they're gonna get out, and they are gonna likely dump on you. So if you get into a project early and then you see investors and VCs talking about it, that's a great sign. That means that you're likely going to be able to get out before they dump. But it's really important to know who the team is and who are the key investors that are putting money into this project. Tip number five is that gaming is king. Becker is really still doubling down on the fact that gaming is going to bring the 100 million users, the massive onboarding from Web 2 to Web 3, and I fully agree with him, but I don't think it's going to be this year. So if you're investing into gaming tokens, just know that you might have to wait a little bit longer, and I'm definitely steering away from investing into specific individual games. I'm investing into platforms, things like Seedify, things like Superverse, things that are helping games execute, because it's so tough to pick a winner in the gaming space. But I do think that at some point in the next few years, we're gonna see a massive gaming bull run. And as much as Becker loves gaming in the space, he is quick to point out that most games are complete trash, they're scams, and you should stay far, far away from them. Tip number six is to have no emotion. And this is a really tough one for most traders, myself included. You get invested into a project, you love the idea, you get to know the team, you follow the tweets, and you start to feel like you're really a part of the community. But unfortunately, this is a PvP space. It's a very tough space, and sometimes you have to know when to cut your losses, or you have to know when to get out of a project when the chart's no longer looking good or bad news comes out. Becker is ruthless about this, but he is honest, and he says, hey, at some point I am planning planning on selling these tokens and taking a profit, and you don't necessarily know when it's going to be. So you have to make sure, listening to anyone about crypto advice, that at the end of the day, even if we love the projects, we're here to make money. And so people will dump on you, and you have to be vigilant at all times. Tip number 7 is to learn how to research. So often when the bull market's hitting and things are just going up, you feel like you can throw a dart at anything and it'll hit. And there are times where that's been true, but in general, when you go deeper into the team, the white paper, the Discord, the marketing plan, and you really understand why a narrative is so strong or why a project is starting to pop, that's when you can determine how many multiples you're able to get here, and when it's time to get out, or when it's time to maybe sell part of your stack or take your initials out or take some profits. It's really important to not just blindly follow calls, and especially on platforms like YouTube, like TikTok, often you're getting information very, very late. So by doing your own research, you're getting in earlier, you're starting to understand how to do it and get ahead of the curve. Tip number 8 is that crypto Twitter is the alpha. As I just mentioned, things like YouTube and TikTok are great, but if you want to get updates and calls and info quicker, follow me on Twitter at Matt Stefanina. Follow Becker as well. He tweets before he makes YouTube videos like all of us, because this takes a lot of time to film this, to edit it, that whole process. But a tweet takes 10 seconds. So if you really want to be deep in the trenches and you want to get in early, you need to be spending time on crypto Twitter, and you need to follow the type of accounts that research and invest in the type of projects that you like. Tip number 9 is cycle mastery. At this point, this is my 3rd bull run. I've seen it all before. Nothing works. Everything's down. Everyone hates crypto. Oh my gosh, crypto's the new wave. This is incredible. We have to put all our money into crypto, and then crash. And then this time it's the metaverse and it's this and that, crash. This time it's tariffs, crash, right? We always inevitably find reasons to pull back and crash. And when we do, it usually stays down for about 2 years. So most of the charts will tell you right now that we're leading into a bull run, and sometime over the next 6 to 12 months, we're going to have an insane run up, and there's going to be what we call a blow off top, meaning at some point the euphoria gets so high, everyone's making money, and people decide to pull their profits, and that mixes with some bad news, come crashing down to find a level of support. Now in things like Bitcoin and Ethereum, that might be 30, 40, 50, even 60, 70% I've seen. But in things like altcoins and these AI coins and projects that people don't necessarily really believe in, but they're just investing in to make money, they can come down 80, 90, even 95+%. So it's really important to understand where we are in the cycle, and as things start to get too euphoric, at the very least moving into bigger, safer coins like Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, things that are not going to crash to zero, but in the best case, taking some profits and taking some money off the table. And number 10 is attention is alpha. If you want to just follow a basic strategy without reading charts every day, without day trading, go where the attention is heading. Not where the attention is already at, because again, you probably missed it if the attention is already there. But what's the thing that people are just getting excited about? What's the thing that was happening in Web 2 that is now getting excitement over in Web 3? And I really believe that that's AI in this cycle. And that's why I'm heavily invested into AI projects. But you have to decide for yourself. Remember, this is not financial advice and I'm not a financial advisor, but these strategies have helped me a lot over the past 8 years. Some of them are things that I was already doing, and some of them are things that I learned from Becker, because I do believe that the crypto markets, especially in the mid and the low caps, they don't follow technical analysis. The charts don't make sense. When things start to go up and go up crazy, it's usually based on attention, hype, and as we talked about in the very first tip, narrative. So if you learned something today, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe, because I'm doing all types of crypto videos on this channel, from beginner step-by-step tutorials to showing you what I'm actually trading, investing in, how I'm doing it, when I'm taking profits. I'm being completely transparent here. So the like and the subscribe means a lot. I hope you hit 100x this cycle, and I'll see you on the next video.